Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Rescue Ace deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this is one of the most powerful decks to play this format because we finally have the Diabell Star cards that take this deck to a whole new level. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in every single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 2 copies of Rescue Ace Turbulence. Turbulence is a definite 2 of in the deck because this card is our main boss monster we're summoning all the time, and this card gets your field completely set up because it has the ability to banish 2 Rescue Ace cards from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. And during your main phase, you can set up to 4 Rescue Ace quick play spells or normal traps with different names directly from your deck to your side of the field, which is insane that this card is going to give you a +4, which is just absolutely crazy. If another card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, except during the damage step, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it, which is a really cool effect. This card is a definite 2 of in the build, and it's super easy to get to, which is why we're just playing 2 in this deck. We then play 2 copies of Rescue Ace Hydrant. You really only need 2 copies of Hydrant now that we have the Diabell Star cards, but this card is still really good and a card you always want to have on your side of the field so you can get the bonus effects off your Rescue Ace spell and trap cards. But this card is a really cool ability that we control a Rescue Ace monster other than Rescue Ace Hydrant. Your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, and you only default effects this card once per turn. That you can activate a quick play spell or a trap that was set by the effect of your Rescue Ace card the turn it was set, and during your main phase, you can add 1 Rescue Ace monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of Hydrant, which is an amazing ability. We then play 2 copies of Preventer. Preventer is an amazing card in this deck as a 2 of because this card just helps you out so much, and it's really easy to summon because you can actually banish a Rescue Ace card from your grave to special summon this card from your hand, and it also has the ability if you control another Rescue Ace monster, quick effect, you can target an effect monster opponent controls and Book of Moon it face down in defense position, which is a really cool ability. This card is basically a walking Book of Moon. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Rescue Ace monsters, except a level 8 monster, and special summon it, replacing this card, which is just really, really good. We then play 3 copies of Airlifter. Airlifter is the best normal summon in the entire deck because this card actually searches a Rescue Ace spell card from your deck to your hand, which is going to help you get to your copy of Emergency, which is just really important to be able to get to in this build, which is why we're playing this card as a 3 of in the deck. We're then playing a single copy of Impulse. I feel like all you need is a single copy of Impulse now, but this card is still really good as a 1 of in the build because it helps you out a lot because during your main phase, you can actually choose 1 effect monster that your opponent controls with the highest attack, your choice of a tie, and neither player can activate that monster's effect on the field this turn, which is a really cool ability for this card to have. And when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, quick effect, you can tribute this card from your hand or face up from field to special summon a Machine Rescue Ace monster from your deck, which is really good to be able to summon out your copy of Preventer to your side of the field, or even your copy of Hydrant or Turbulence, which is just really, really good. We then play 3 copies of Diabell Star, the Black Witch. This card is so powerful and is just absolutely insane as a 3 of in the build. You could probably play this card at 2, but I really like 3 in my build. It's absolutely insane because you can special summon this card from your hand by sending 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and you can only special summon this card once per turn this way. You can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can set a Sinful Spoils spell or trap directly from your deck to your side of the field, which is amazing about this card. And also during your opponent's turn, if this card is sent from its owner's hand or field to the graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card, which is a crazy powerful effect. We then play a single copy of Jet Synchron. Jet Synchron is a definite 1 of in the deck because this card just helps out a lot to be able to work with your Diabell Star cards, and it's just absolutely crazy in this deck as 1 of to help you go in for synchro plays because it's a level 1 fire monster. It's super easy to work in this build. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's a definite 3 of in the deck just to stop your opponent from touching the deck. And then we play 3 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru's amazing just to stop your opponent from establishing a crazy board, and this card is just really good this format. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda is really good as a one-of in the deck, and it's just really powerful overall. We then play a single copy of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is really good to be able to summon out your copy of Mud Dragon, so you can basically make it so your opponent can't target you, which is just really, really good. This card is amazing in the deck. We then play a single copy of the original Sinful Spools, Snake Eye. This card is really good to be able to get to with your copy of Diabellstar, and it helps out a lot because it lets you send one other face-up card you control to the graveyard to special summon a level 1 fire monster from your hand or deck, which is absolutely insane to be able to work with your copy of Hydrant or Jet Synchron, depending on which play you're going for, but this card is absolutely insane for that ability. It also has the ability you can banish this card from your graveyard, and then you can target a Snake Eye or Diabellstar monster in your graveyard, and add a level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand, then place the targeted monster on the bottom of the deck, which is just a really good ability about this card. And this card is absolutely amazing. We then play 3 copies of Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spools. This card is the Rhoda for your copy of Diabellstar, and it's a definite 3-of in the build. It lets you add a Diabellstar monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and during your main phase, you can banish this card from the graveyard and then target one of your Sinful Spool spells or traps that's banished or in your graveyard, except a copy of this card, and place it on the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card, making it so you can recycle your copy of the original Sinful Spools, which is really, really good, so that you can get basically infinite uses out of it, which is just absolutely insane. I love that about this card. We then play a single copy of Rescue Ace HQ. HQ is really good as a one-of field spell, and it just helps out a lot overall in the deck, because while your opponent controls a monster, all Rescue Ace monsters that you control gain 500 attack and defense points, and it also helps you recycle your cards and gives you an additional normal summon, which is just absolutely insane. This card is a definite one-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Rescue. Rescue is really good as a one-of in the deck because it's always treated as a Rescue Ace card unless you target a Rescue Ace monster in your graveyard, or if your opponent, or if you control a Rescue Ace Hydrant, you can actually target one monster in your opponent's graveyard instead and special summon it to your side of the field, which is just really, really good. We then play a single copy of Alert. Alert's really good as a one-of as well. It lets you add a Rescue Ace monster from your graveyard to your hand, or if you control a Rescue Ace Hydrant, you can add a Rescue Ace monster from your deck to your hand instead, which is really insane. We then play 3 copies of Emergency. Emergency is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck. It lets you special summon a Rescue Ace monster from your deck in defense position, then tribute a Rescue Ace monster from your hand or field, which is just a crazy powerful effect to give you access to any of your Rescue Ace monsters, and it's basically E-tally for the deck. And also during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Rescue Ace trap in the grave and set it to your side of the field, and you only use each effect this card once per turn. This card is absolutely insane, and one of the reasons the deck is so powerful. We then play 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Prosperity is just really good to help you dig into the deck to get the exact card that you need. So that's it for these spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Contain. Contain's really good as a one-of in the deck, because it has the ability if you control a Rescue Ace monster, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, and this turn that effect monster cannot attack, and also its effects are negated. And if you control a copy of Hydrant, a resolution of this card's activation, it has the ability that that monster also cannot be used as material for a Fusion, Synchro, Exy, or Link summon this turn, basically completely containing that monster. We then play a single copy of Extinguish. Extinguish is also a really good one-of in the deck to be able to set with your copy of Turbulence, but this card is really good because if you control a copy of Rescue Ace monster, then you can target one effect monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Then if you can currently control a copy of Hydrant, your opponent cannot activate the effects of the destroyed monster or of monsters with the same original name this turn, which is absolutely insane. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is a definite 3-of in the deck to be able to use with your copies of your Ash Blossoms and Nibiru to basically just lock down your opponent so they can't use monster effects, and it's just really good to also set this card to your side of the field and lock down entire columns of spells and traps, which is just absolutely insane. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start with a single copy of Mud Dragon of the Swamp. This card is one of the most powerful cards in the entire extra deck because your opponent cannot target this card or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card with that card effects, which is just really good to basically lock down so you can't be targeted, which is the main reason why we're playing the copy of Instant Fusion, so we can go full combo by activating Instant Fusion and then calling Fire on this card because it has the ability once per turn. Quick effect, you can declare one attribute, and this card becomes that attribute while it's on the field until the end of the turn, which is really good to be able to call Fire with this card so your copies of your Rescue Ace monsters can't be targeted. We then play a single copy of Baron de Fleur. Baron is very easy to make in this deck with your copy of Jet Synchron, and it's just really good as a walking negate. We then play a single copy of Borreload Savage Dragon. This card is also really good as a walking negate in the deck. We then play a single copy of Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is great to lock down graveyards, and sometimes when you summon this card out to your side of the field, sometimes it's just an FTK depending on what you're playing against. We then play a single copy of Sky Crisis. Sky Crisis is really good in this deck because it's super easy to make, and you can always make this card in the deck. It's just an amazing card overall to be able to summon to your side of the field, locking down monsters, and also being a walking bounce. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's amazing to be able to make, to basically just pop cards on the field, and it comes out absolutely massive. One copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff, a single copy of Celine to help us link climb into our copy of Access Code, a copy of Hita, because we are playing a lot of fire in the deck, so this card is really good to be able to make to help you link climb, especially if your opponent puts a copy of Ash Blossom in the graveyard. We then play a single copy of the Dark Charmer. Dark Charmer is really good in the deck because we do play Dark in the deck as well, so this card is really good as a one-of. Play a single copy of Proxy F Magician. This is so we can fusion summon into our copy of Mud Dragon. If we don't open up a copy of Instant Fusion, we can use our copy of Proxy F to step into our copy of Mud Dragon, which is really good. We then play a single copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is absolutely crazy, and one of the most powerful cards in Yu-Gi-Oh right now because it is a double interruption, which is absolutely insane. One copy of IP Masquerena. IP is definitely a one-of in the build, so you can make your copy of SP Little Knight or your copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn, which is absolutely crazy to be able to spin cards off the field. One copy of Relinquished Anima. This card helps out a lot in the deck to be able to eat cards off the opponent's side of the field if they don't play around it. And finally, a single copy of Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh is amazing in this deck to be able to make, and it's just a really good card overall to protect you from attacks. So, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is absolutely crazy. If you guys have never played Rescue Ace before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's just super fun to be able to play, and I absolutely love this deck. It's super fun to be able to just control the board with all your different Rescue Ace spells and traps, while also summoning out awesome boss monsters like Turbulence. So, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.